Hi everyone, my name is Katie. Welcome to my page Red's Stitchery, and let's talk about cross stitching. I want to try something new for me, definitely not new for Flosstube. I've decided, starting from this finish, I'm going to make a separate video for each project, so that dedicated to that project when it's finished. Basically all my thoughts about it, what I changed, what I added, and so on and so on. Of course, I am basically repeating all my info that I've been posting in the previous videos when I showed you my web progress with this particular project. So this is basically me summing it up. The reason for that is when I find some kind of pattern or a kit that I think I absolutely have to have, I love to go into Flosstube and search for it and see how it looks when it's finished, what people added, what they changed it, where was the difficult moment, what do I need to pay attention. And sometimes it's not that easy to find. Most of the time I find the information that I need in the like Flosstube updates video, mixed with the other projects, which is fine. But sometimes I wish there would be a video just for that particular project. So I decided maybe I'm not alone, and this type of video will definitely find its own viewer. So basically here is my sum up about Maiden by Teresa Wentzler that I just finished, and I'm very excited to show you my final results, my finish, and all the info that I can gather my thoughts about. This is my first Teresa Wentzler project, but even before, way before I finished it, I already purchased more charts, kits. I found this designer very enjoyable to stitch, very interesting, very particular. You do have that feeling that you're drawing, not stitching. And but I will say this designer is definitely not for everybody. I've seen people getting irritated or frustrated or starting it and never finishing it. So before you purchase or start your first Teresa Wentzler, I definitely recommend to search as many info as you can. That's what I did, and that's why I chose this one as my first one, because they say, people on the internet, this is the not the easiest, but one of those that definitely safe to start with. It's easy, it's understandable, and it's fun to stitch. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just perfect for the beginner. Teresa has smaller projects. The charts you can find, there is official like the pattern website that sells lots of different designers patterns that out of print. There are smaller designs, but I've started with this one. Very happy with my choice, and let me share everything that I can think about. So I started it on January 31st, 2024. So I started it in 2024. On the time when I'm filming this, it's still this year. I don't know when I'm going to post this. So basically it took me 11 months to stitch it. The only reason why I started it, it's because I was and still participating already in the second SAL by Teresa Wentzler, and in this particular SAL you have to post your updates every month on the first. So it was very motivating me to stitch in her, even like 100 stitches, 200 stitches, the bare minimum I can do. She was moving every month. I got a kit. So this is a kit by John Lynn, which is interesting because other her kits that I see online, which is crazy amount of money, I'm planning just to get a chart if I don't find a reasonable price for the kit, are by Just Cross Stitch, where this one is John Lynn. So in the kit was included 14 count Ida, floss, needle, blending filaments, chart, and instructions. Here's the preview. I don't know yet how I'm going to frame her. She's not framed yet, but I see her in a frame without the mat. Just like a gold, interesting frame. Definitely need to go to the framer shop and search for it. I'm very proud of this finish, so I do think I'm going to take her to the framer shop, or if I find some kind of frame that I can do myself, I will try to. She's not that big, so I think I can try to. So again, it came with a 14th count Ida, which I did not use because why would you use Ida on Teresa Wentzler? Teresa Wentzler has lots and lots and lots of blends. Basically, this entire stitch was made with blends. Only a couple moments in greens were pure color. Everything else is blends. But that's not what I'm talking about. The reason why there's a pet's hair, of course, everywhere. We're gonna just ignore that. Besides amazing, crazy amount of blends, there's 3/4 and 1/4. And you can stitch them on Ida, but there's possibility they're not gonna be even, you know, because on Ida, when you do 1/4 or 3/4, basically you need to go in the middle of the square, and on Ida you can do it, it's just you're never gonna, you know, hit the same spot on all the 3/4 and 1/4 that you need to do. That way it's gonna be uneven, and that perfect line, for example, in this like inner yellow frame right here, the way how it's made perfect circle, it's 3/4 and 1/4. And if you're gonna do it Ida, it's most likely not gonna be even, so you're not gonna get that straight line. So I substituted to the even weave. I unfortunately don't remember what kind of even weave I used. I think it was DMC Manaka, because I remember I purchased it either in Hobby Lobby or in Michael's, and it came in one of those plastic tubes, the even weave, but I don't remember a particular name, but I think it was DMC even weave, and I think those are Manaka. So the Ida that came in a kit is like this yellowish sand color. The Ida is very nice to touch. It's not too soft, not too hard, very like enjoyable to hold. It's just for this particular project, I just knew right away that the Ida not gonna work. You have to stitch Teresa Wentzler on the even weave. Now the part that it's very important, and I feel like lots of people just see the chart, purchasing it, and then when they're facing something like this, they get frustrated. So this particular kit, again, you can get a chart, you can get a kit. This actually is very easy to find the kit. You constantly see it on eBay, constantly see it on Etsy, distash groups. This is very easy to find. It's going to be around $30, 25, 35, like this range. And it's a great start. Again, I am very happy that I started with this one. Again, it's going to be definitely not my last Teresa Wentzler because I have so much more plans for her. But because it was a kit, this is how the key chart looks, and it came with the 6 like knots of the floss that I have to separate myself. And at first I thought I'm gonna fix it all and present it to you all nice and pretty, but I've decided to be transparent as much as I can. So here is my floss leftovers. As you can see, highly used. This is my favorite floss organizers. I constantly leave them in a link in the description down below. They are very bulky, so maybe not for traveling, especially like this part's kind of easy to break because they plastic, but oh, actually no, they're pretty hard. But I did broke a couple of these in the past because I wasn't very careful. But these organizers are my favorite, and especially for the big projects, especially with the projects that have lots of floss, I find them very, very handy. Technically, all the floss will fit in here, but the way I start separated, I kind of use this organizer also. So this is by Mereshka. The Mereshka's kits, especially the newer ones, they include this like flimsy organizer, but as you can see, it's actually survived quite a lot of stitching. I think it's the 3rd project that I'm organizing on this. And what I did, I took the same symbol over here, and this is here since 2023 when I was stitching my summer cat window. And this is, I talk about it all the time, this is the special tape that you put between your windows, so during a cold month, cold air doesn't go through your windows. So this is like a tape to keep you warm. but one side is sticky and another one it's not, but it's very soft, and I use it for parking the needle, like this one right here. Or you can, if it's like currently working project, like it's in work right now, you can easily stick it vertically. This is how I organize my floss. When I organize my floss on this type of organizing, I'm braiding them. So because I braided them, they actually still in a very easy use condition. But I thought I will show you the real life, not the picture perfect. Another thing that I did, I actually, because again, Teresa Wentzler love blends, and you will stitch with most everything, it's just blends. I put the floss that comes in the blend in front of each other. For example, 504, 524, together they create the symbol V, like a check mark, and I put them in front of each other. So instead of, okay, 50 over here, where's the next color? I think it's here. So instead of doing all this business and wasting time of it, I've decided to organize the way that the blending floss is in front of each other. Some flosses, you can see it's this single floss used. So when I see this symbol, I only use this floss. When I see this, it means it's a blend. So each floss has its own symbol, but if they are matching, it means it's a blend because they're in front of each other. Lots of colors, leftovers, I mean a lot. Especially over here, like this 611. White, I think, still a lot. This one. 3041, also a lot of leftovers. However, there was a situation where one floss was not enough, and it's a kit. It was not opened when I purchased it, so I know it's not the previous owner because I ordered mine from eBay. It's the manufacturer, or possibly I wasn't very careful, and that color was 415. But we're gonna get to that in a moment. So let's see the key chart. Again, everything came with like 6 separate knots. I separate them all. It did came with blending filaments also. Those came already pre-cutted, and both of those colors I put somewhere, and I don't know where it is, but I remember especially 032, I had a lot of leftovers, and I'm pretty sure I probably put them somewhere to remember where they are because I want to use them in the future. But this, it didn't came like this. The cranic that came in a kit already came pre-cutted. These two I just brought to show you the colors of the cranic that was used in this kit. Again, those cranic did came with the kit. It came pre-cutted. I don't remember where I put my cut pieces, so I'm showing you other cranic, but the same colors that I have in my stash, just to show you the colors that we use. 032, I think the most used cranic ever. I see it in lots of kits and lots of projects, and even if it's not there, I myself love to add this one to lots of projects, especially where the snow, or I just want the light, very noticeable sparkle. This is very handy cranic. And another one was 093, which in here you're not gonna see the number. It just says mauve, I think that's what they call it here. Yeah, they just called it here light mauve, so I'm pretty sure it's 093 because I kind of had to Google it, and that's was the answer. But that's the 2 cranics that were used in this kit. And this is actually a very small and tiny key chart. I have different charts that I showed you in the past. For example, my next big project, it's the dragon, and it's just endless key chart with all those blends and stuff. Here you can see actually a good portion, a good chunk of the pure colors, meaning there's no blends. You just take the color and you stitch with that as it is. But still lots and lots and lots of blends. Some of those blends you do want to question, like, is it really necessary? For example, that frame, the gold one goes, the inner frame, it's the mix of these two. and even on camera they look identical. It's just this one is a little bit cooler, this is a little bit warmer, has more like beige undertone, where this is like yellow. But even on camera they look almost identical. The stitch was easy, and let me show you my finish. Oh, actually no, let's talk about the chart first. First of all, I saved the original, but I also made myself a working copies. I've never ever made a working copies before in my life. No, it wasn't necessary. However, in here it is necessary. I am going to show it to you like this, because if you want to copy it from the YouTube video, you're absolutely insane and you don't love and you don't respect, first of all, yourself, because even having this copy in real life, it's so hard to read. And of course I use Cross Stitch Saga. Some of her charts, especially the ones that you can download PDF from that particular website, they are actually normal symbols. This is hand drawn. So she drawn by hand, copied it, and included in a kit. And I had to start marking it here. And 3/4, right? 1/4, 1/4, 3/4. That's what I was talking about, especially like where her face is. Look, all those. That's why you don't want to use Ida. But again, I used Cross Stitch Saga up. Very happy about it. Cross stitching should be enjoyable, and if I have a way to make it easier, more enjoyable, and just enjoy that almost like drawing with a needle, I am going to use all the tools that there's possible to do that. Be honest with you, if not for the saga, I would probably just put it away and never open this kit again, or we'll find not by hand but a computer graphic chart in a PDF form, because this is just ridiculous. Anyway, the designer is so talented. I think it might worth it. People have done it in the past like that, you know, without any digital helpers, and they did just fine. But why, if you can make your life a little bit easier? Anyway, let's finally see a finish. I just washed it. It's still wet. I tried to iron it. Still a bit wet. I've tried to iron it, and I did iron it, but I don't want to keep pressing the hot on it because it has krennic, and I'm afraid it's gonna melt or something. But there she is. It is quite small project. So here's my palm, here's the project, and that's why I think it's great for the beginning of Teresa Wentzler stitching. And here's a little bit close up. You of course cannot see krennic. Let me see if I can. Sometimes when it's dark, only sparkles catch in the light, and you can see taller right now that her wings are full of krennic, and krennic is also on the background and in her dress. But let's return the flashlight. The face, I like the face, the dress, the hands, the feet, the lilies in the background, everything about it, it's just great. So the color that I run out, it was that 415, the one that this whole background gray frame is stitching with. And I actually stitched with the leftover floss, like the floss that I had up to here, and I ran out. And even though it's DMC number, this kit is from 1993, so it's 31 years old. And some of the DMC colors have changed since then, and the lots of colors, if not all of them, actually don't match nowadays DMC. So when I got to the point when I ran out of the floss, I first thought, I was like, well, I'm just gonna get DMC Then I got it and it was 100% not matching. I actually took every single gray color by DMC that I have and none of them matched. None of them were even close. The DMC grays that they have right now in their selection, they all like slightly green, slightly yellow, slightly blue. This gray that needed to be here, it should be just gray, which I know that gray is a mix of colors, but it needs to be very neutral. So if you watch my previous videos, I am stitching right now the teddy with quilt, and I took the gray from there. That kit, it's by Design Works. They also supposed to be DMC floss in there, which wasn't, but that gray was very, very close to the gray that I use in the kit. I tried to blend them, it was still very noticeable, so I have to frog all of this gray right here and restart and restitching it. So actually I should have finished way earlier than I do, but I actually have a finish and I was able to finish it 2024 and I'm very, very happy about it. I think most interesting part was her wings. So what you do first, you stitch almost all of it besides the gray that you see, so the white with sparkle part. You stitch first the half stitch with just the floss, the moulinet floss that it says, whatever the color it says in the keys, and then you take chronic and you like closing those crosses with a chronic. So all the chronic is out front, and right now on camera you cannot see it, but I look at it right now with my own eyes and she just like sparkling. She is full of light, full of sparkles. Her wings just beautifully shine. I'm trying to unfocus it so you can see that there is right there all that sparkle. So that was interesting. I would say it did took a lot of concentration because sometimes you simply can't see where you're working, but again, it's not something impossible. It's just takes lots of concentration. The whole project takes a lot of concentration. Everybody who's asking me about Teresa, I always tell them, make sure you take a time with this, any Teresa. I feel like, even though it's only my one Teresa that I stitch, but I feel like I'm going to follow this rule in the future also. Whatever, when you work on Teresa, turn off your phone, make sure nobody's bothering you, make sure nobody talks to you, watch something that you're already familiar, like don't watch the new show, don't read a new book like audiobook, because your full attention 100% needs to be on this project, because it's very easy to make a mistake. Because this kit uses a lot of 3/4 and 1/4, you constantly need to think like, okay, if I'm stitching this green leaf, right, which is obviously out front and more main than the background greens, obviously whatever where the 3/4 and 1/4 was connecting this leaf, I will do on a leaf 3/4 and a background 1/4, but again depends where you're stitching to create that shape, making sure it's all logical. So you do need to put 100% of your attention into the project. The background also was very interesting. So like the green elements you see, you take one blend first and you do a big cross. So it's basically cross stitch, but instead of in one square, it's in fourth. So you do a cross stitch and then you take another blend and you do like a vertical cross on top of that. So there's two blends and it's like one cross that goes diagonal and one cross that goes straight. With the pink sparkly elements in between, it's the same thing, but first cross big one you do with chronic, this one, the mauve one, and then you take kind of same mauve color, purplish mauve color, and you on top of it you make a vertical small cross. So that's how you create this pattern. Very easy. This part of the project, the inside, all these big crosses that might look difficult, it was actually the most easiest thing. You know what surprisingly took me a long time? The frame. So there's a 3 colors, blend, and that this one's 611, I remember, because there's lots of leftovers of that one. You will think it's just one color, just stitch the frame, but I think this frame alone, this like 3 layers of the frame, was almost like 1200, 1250 stitches, something like that, and it took me 2 evenings just to finish this frame, the outside one. I was like, oh, 1 more evening and I'll finish, all I have to do is just that frame. But you stitch and you stitch and you stitch and you stitch. It's like never ending line, and then the vertical one's even bigger, so that took me a lot of time, but everything else was very enjoyable. I see people saying lots of things like, I don't understand why the blends is so necessary, why so many blends, I don't like blends. If you, my thought is, if you don't like blends, Teresa is not for you. She is an artist. She is definitely painting with the needle, not just cross-stitch pattern. And that's why the final results on all of her projects is absolutely amazing. I have a couple more on my wish list. Lots of the ones that I'm wishing about, I have. The next kit I have is the peacock tapestry, and I think that one is her biggest, most famous one. I'm gonna wait on that one, the next project, which I'm very excited to start, but it will take me a minute because I need to prepare the fabric, prepare the floss. It's gonna be a celestial dragon, which I at first I didn't care about him, and then I saw a finished result, and it's all I've been thinking about it, and it's also been motivating me to finish this one as fast as possible, because I've decided for myself, Teresa, it's one of those designers that I do not want to have more than 1 whip at a time. If I will have even 2 whips, it's never going to be finished. Because there's just no way it's ever going to be finished if I'm going to try to move both of them at the same time. With easy projects, I can easily stitch, I don't know, 700, 800 stitches in a day. With this one, if I stitch 350, it's a good day. 500, it's something like, whoa, it was some kind of easy spot. It definitely takes me a lot of time, and she's tiny. Celestial Dragon will be like twice as big, and then Peacock Tapestry is just huge. It's literally a tapestry. It's just very long, huge, but gorgeous project. Let me show her closer again to you. I'm trying to think if I forgot something. So again, I stitched it in a kit. Everything was easy. It was enough of all of the colors except the 415. So if you also have a kit, definitely save every single little string of that color. Remind you, it goes right here in a gray in the frame. So that was very painful to frog it, but it's okay, I made it. And she is 25th finish in 2024. It's a little bit wet, but I couldn't wait to film this video. Anyway, there is my Lily Maiden. I am very, very excited that I stitched her. I enjoyed the experience. I'm gonna put the preview next to her so you kind of see the difference or not. But I enjoyed it 100%. I am right now in the stitchy era where I enjoy, I don't want to say difficult projects. I don't think everybody, like nobody gonna enjoy a difficult project, but I like particular ones. I like when you have to a little bit sit down, learn the chart, dig into it, work on some kind of little element. I think that's why I love dimensions. I'm enjoying this one. I have so many more designers that I want to explore. Like, I am into it right now, and I love how I also stitch very easy small projects in between those, just to like relax and have a fast finish, like fast progress. But I'm very, very happy that I stitched her. I think I did a great choice of starting my Teresa Wentzler obsession with this particular pattern. I am not afraid now to stitch anything else by her. There is more advanced designs by her. Advanced meaning hard darker is included in a chart. I'm not quite there yet, but tell you the secret, I do plan my 2025 be a year of stepping into that area too, because that just opens so many different patterns and designers and ideas. And I love when the hard darker is mixed with cross stitch, but it's completely different story. Again, here's my finish. I hope it was helpful. If you have any more questions, if any details that I missed, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be very, very happy to answer those questions. If you stitch Teresa, what's your thinking? Do you love? Do you dislike? Were you one of those people like me who is after first design hooked and want to stitch more, or did you kind of forgot about it, give it away, and it was not for you? Because I just, from all the reviews I've seen so far, it's not for everybody. Which is okay. There's so many amazing designers, and I'm sure everybody will find something that they enjoy. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Let me know, how do you like the idea of the video dedicated particular to one project? Do you also, like me, search those on Flosstube when you find something? I think it's very, very helpful, and I hope I was very helpful for you too today. So again, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I will see you very soon in my next stitchy episodes, my stitchy Flosstube. Subscribe, like, comment. If you have nothing particular to comment, leave me an emoji, leave me a fairy in the comments. I would appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. I will see you very soon. Have a great day. Bye.